Hey everybody, RustyOldMan here, and today I'm going to show you how to build an amazing vehicle base that you can live out of as a solo. In fact, I did that in this last August wipe. I'll put the timestamps below, but you're going to see how we build this out, starting from a starter base that you can live out of securely all the way through to a fully functional car base. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you're close to a road, okay? You need a nice flat area if you're going to have a vehicle. When you build this base, it's going to start off kind of like an external TC. We'll make sure that we've got our TC in there snug. For this video, I'm not going to be locking anything, just for simplicity purposes. Y'all know you need to lock your TC in your doors, okay? I don't need to teach you that. From here, we're going to go ahead and use a double sheet metal door. You want that to open inwards. And yes, you want to use a double sheet metal door here because you want to make sure that this is the most secure part of your base right here. Don't use a wooden door here. You don't want someone to molly you. So make sure that it's good to go here. The next thing I do here is I'm going to build out 6 triangles, counting the one that I'm on. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For the next part, we're going to go ahead and make the walls on the right-hand side coming out of your TC stone, and we're going to make the walls on the left-hand side wood. And we do that because we are eventually going to break through these walls right here, and our garage is going to be on that side. This is just so that you've got a secure starter base. We'll go ahead and build an airlock. That one is going to be stone for us, but it really matters on what building materials you have. If you make them wood because that's all you got, that's okay. Then we'll go ahead and we'll seal the ceiling as well. If you've got wood, make it wood. If you've got stone, make it stone. It's okay. The same thing goes for those doors. If you don't have the metal, just make them wood doors so you have a secured airlock. And this is it. This is phase 1. This is your starter base for the car base. And here's a look at our starter base. It's not much to look at. It's very, very narrow, but you're gonna start to see what this is gonna look like. We'll have the garage on this side right here. We'll have some honeycomb where it's needed, and that's gonna be our vehicle base. That starter base, super cheap. Look at that upkeep. Now, obviously you're not going to want to keep it like that, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and do the next phase of our starter base. First thing is, you're gonna wanna go ahead and replace these with metal doors. Once you've got those metal doors, what we're going to want to do is you're going to want to come on out and build this portion before you break out of this wood. And what we're going to do here is just 3 stone foundations, right like that. And again, we'll go ahead and, depending on your resources that you have, stone or wood, you go ahead and secure this to the best of your ability. Then what we do is we break through these walls, obviously from the other side, and then we'll go ahead and put some additional wall frames right here. Now that we've got that, our next step is going to be upgrading where our TC is to metal. That's going to be our upkeep now. The second phase of our base, 211 metal, 713 stone. So it's super cheap, and now we've got our base at level 2. Now, you may be thinking, what about storage? You're not even worrying about how you're going to decorate this. I've told you guys, I am not an interior designer, but I will show you what I think is the optimum storage allocation and configuration for this base. That's a lot of words right there, isn't it? Allocation, configuration. Man, I sound like I know stuff. Let's get to decorating. I'm going to go ahead and just take this door off right now temporarily. I don't need to take that door off to go ahead and put this in here, but I'm going to. All right, and then I'm going to just right now just temporarily put this guy right here because I want to go ahead and place this guy as far over here. Now, sometimes you can fit 2 in here, sometimes you can't. It just depends kind of, how you configure this, but in my base on the August wipe, I have 2 in there, and you'll see that in that video. So what we do now is we'll go ahead and just take that furnace. I'm going to go ahead and just place that furnace in there. It's not that I'm trying to hide it. It's just I need all the space that I can get. So I'll go ahead and put that furnace right there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place our vertical barrels. These guys are a must-have. So either you get them from the Jungle kit or the Pioneer kit, the Abyss kit, whatever it is, you just get these vertical barrels, okay? They are what you need. And we can place 5 of these bad boys in here, and that's what we want to do. All right, again, we're going to make sure these are tight as possible in here, and there we go. And then what I'm going to do, use these little jungle shelves here, people. That's right, we need more storage here. You guys know me, if you've seen my videos, I like to live in very tight, compact bases, okay? And then we've got these shelves here as well. So let's go ahead and make sure we've got all the boxes that we need in here. All right, we've got 7 total small boxes. We've got 5 vertical boxes, which are basically large boxes here. Next thing I'm going to do, you know what? I don't even have my door back on my TC. Let's go ahead and do that again. We want it to open inward. And I'll go ahead and place my bag down because I didn't do that yet. But there we go. We'll just go ahead and place that. And now you're wondering, wait a second. You don't even have a workbench in here. The workbench actually is going to go in this room right here. And we will go ahead and place a level 2 workbench right there. And that right there is phase 2 of our base. And you can take a look at it. We've expanded it out to the right. It's a very narrow base, living space here, garage space here, looking good. But we're not done. The next phase is 3 and 4. You could do either one first or last. Doesn't matter. We're either going to honeycomb or we're going to actually outfit the electrical stuff. I'm going to go ahead and start with the honeycomb here. Depending if you built your base a little high like I did mine right here, you're going to need a little ramp up right here. So I just make these out of wood. There's no reason to use stone, and wood's cheap. And before we add all of the electrical components to this, we need to make sure that we've got a little extra protection. So let's go ahead and honeycomb where we need to honeycomb. We don't need to honeycomb the garage portion of this because all your loot is actually right next to your garage. The only thing you're going to have in here is your workbench and probably a battery. We'll want to make sure that we honeycomb where our TC and our loot is. At this point, we've got honeycomb around all the important aspects of our base. It's time to start investing a little bit of metal to go ahead and get our core upgraded. Now with that, let's go ahead and see what our upkeep is. 370 metal, 1500 stone, and depending if you have that ramp, 28 wood. That's pretty cheap. We're looking good here. Again, plenty of storage space. The last thing I do in this phase is I'm going to upgrade all the doors that I can to garage doors. Here's the thing. You can actually keep this a double door. A vehicle will actually fit through a double door. So it's okay if you don't have enough gears to do that or you don't have your garage door blueprinted yet. But you definitely want to get garage doors here as soon as you possibly can. And obviously, we're going to start with securing our TC with the garage door. We're now ready for the actual electrical work, the parts that we need to actually house a car. And I've got most of that equipment right here. Some of it we might need a little extra. We'll figure that as we go, but we're going to need a battery. I like to use a medium battery for this build out. You could use just a normal battery. It's plenty of power, but again, I always like to add electrical components as I go. So if you don't have a medium battery, that's okay. If you do, even better. You don't really need a large battery. That's a little overkill. There are purposes for it, but I won't go into them in this video here. Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and place all of our electrical gear inside of our TC room. We'll go ahead and put a little root combiner up there. I'll go ahead and add some electrical branches right over here. Listen, we're building a car base, and to have a car, you have to have a car lit. This is going to blow your mind, but there's going to be some weird, funky things with this. You're going to see sometimes a garage door, an open garage door is going to impact where we can put the actual lift. You're going to actually have to remove the garage doors just so it shows up in blue so that you can place it. It's funky. It's called face punch physics. Listen, it's their world. We just play in it. There we go. Let's go ahead and put those garage doors back on. And as you can see, that narrow passage doesn't hinder you. Let's go ahead and add the electrical components to this. Now, when you're doing electrical work with solar panels, you're going to want to face your solar panels north, okay? Always north. So I'll do that. Now, when I do this, I actually eventually upgrade to a wind turbine, and I don't even go that high, okay? You don't need to. If you put a wind turbine right here, you're still going to get 100 power coming out of that bad boy. And a medium battery only outputs 50, so you don't need to build some humongous tower in the sky for your wind turbine to get an extra 50, 60 energy output that you're never going to use with a medium battery or even a single large battery. For this base, this is fine. These will work, but so would a wind turbine, depending on what you've got. I like to make all my power that comes into my base that's hot, red. I'm a color coordinating type of person. All right, there we go. We've got that. Now look at this. What do we got? We got 40 coming out. Perfect. We'll put that into our battery. I'll go ahead and take my power output, again, using red because, hey, it makes sense. To me, that's the hot power coming right out of the battery. And then we'll bring that right up into there. Now I like to color coordinate my electrical work. It just makes it easier. As you add more and more components, it gets to become a rat's nest in here. So I'm going to go ahead and make that black. And on the power out, I'm going to go into the power in. Power out of this branch, power in, power out, into the power in. You know you got it right if they all are green like this. If you did this into, for example, the branch out, the default is 2. You know, by the time you get to these last ones, they would not be powered up. So for some reason, those are not powered up. It's because you didn't go power out into power in. We're going to take the first one and we're going to give it a value of 5 because that's what our car lift takes. We need to make sure we do a different color for it. I'll go ahead and use green. Here we go. All right, green light's on. That means we've got all the appropriate power to this car lift right here. Now, by building this the right direction, like I said at the beginning, this allows me to get right into the driver's seat right here and hop out of the driver's seat. Now, to get in and out of your garage, this is where you're going to need a very special item. And you're going to need this wonderful little smart switch here. Smart switches, they may be hard for you to find, but trust me, this is going to be what you need to get. It also costs tech trash, so you might need to go ahead and do a little shopping, might need to be going out there and doing a little exploring on some of the monuments to get some tech trash, but you need a smart switch to make this really, really effective and secure way to get out. What you'll do is you'll use a smart opener here. And I'm going to take my smart switch and I'm going to put it right in here. And we are going to go here, and we're just going to say, all we need is 2. So we're good here. For this, we'll do a different color. Blue. That's right. I like to keep things a little simple. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plug this right into my actual door controller. Where's she at? Right there we go. Okay, it's good. I'll go ahead and turn it on. Garage door's open, turn it off, garage door closes. Now, you're thinking, well, this is just like a normal switch. If you don't know about the smart switches and what they do for you, people, I'm about to blow your mind right here. On your phone, I want you to download the Rust Companion app. It is next level. What it allows you to do is it allows you to control smart devices from your phone. So while you're playing, you're going to get into your car, you're going to shut that garage door, and then you're on your phone, you're going to hit the button to activate that smart switch. What it's going to do is it's going to open that garage door. You're going to just back on out. Hopefully your car's a little quicker than that right there. And then you're going to hit it again, and that garage door is going to close. It is amazing. What I do for a little extra added security is I actually put an external TC right here. Unfortunately, I can't because I'm just too close to this area here. Yeah, too close. I wouldn't be able to. But I put an external TC right here with a turret pod. When I open my garage door, that turret pod is going to go ahead and secure my base. One of the things that we haven't looked at since we've upgraded quite a bit here is what the actual cost is. So let's take a look at that. We're looking at 426 metal, 1,500 stone, and a little bit of wood. That is super easy. That's a node of metal, node and a half of stone. This is going to be easy for a solo. Look at this beauty in nature. It is super compact, super tight, and super functional as a vehicle garage. You can live out of this as a solo, like I've said a couple times already. I do that in my August wipe video that you guys will be seeing here soon. Once we get done with that, it's amazing. Lots of great times in the vehicle, driving people around, having conversations. Listen, I hope to see you all on a server sometime soon. You'll know who I am. I'm the role player.